Today I'd like to draw your attention to a relatively underappreciated ecosystem service provided by an ecosystem rarely spoken about in the classroom: agricultural ecosystems. When the topic of ecosystem services is brought up, most ecology students will immediately think of things like carbon sequestration by forests, and algae, or the pollination of plants by honeybees or remote forests in the middle of nowhere. The general mentality behind these ecosystem services is that humans have to just stop interfering and messing things up and just let things happen. That these ecosystem services are to be protected from humans. Many of you were probably quick to point out, agriculture is just terrible for the environment. How could they possibly be good for anything? 30% of the land on the planet has been repurposed for humans to grow food on. These ecosystems are aggressively managed, causing soil erosion, salinization, water pollution, and basically everything wrong with our planet right now. But we need to remember that agriculture is necessary for human civilization to eventually reach a point of, hopefully, sustainability. We can't all just stop eating food. That would just be unreasonable. So instead, let's maybe look at the positives. If managed correctly, agriculture can increase the photosynthetic capacity of land. They can sometimes increase soil fertility, maybe clean our water and help us retain our groundwater reserves as well. But today we're going to be focusing on a less talked about ecosystem service: the ecological capacity of land, specifically that of deer. No matter what you might personally think about killing animals, the cultural significance of hunting as an ecosystem service is important, no matter what kind. Obviously, except poaching. Poaching is really bad. So what has hunting ever done for us? For starters, the calculated value of hunting for individual hunters based on their willingness to pay is around $39 per acre. This might not seem like much at first, but this is 8 times as much as what farmers value the use of their own land for a hunting season. There is no doubt that people love the self-reliant feeling of shooting their own food. But never mind that, I'm willing to bet that most people who are watching this video probably aren't hunters. A lot of you are probably thinking, screw those people, what about the ecosystem, huh? Does hunting provide anything for nature? Arguably more important than the cultural benefits of hunting is the ability to manage the overpopulation of deer caused both by the increased capacity of land due to agriculture, but also the decrease in natural predators due to human intervention. Throughout the world, overpopulation of deer cause significant economic damage in forestry and agriculture. They feed off of crops in the summer and overbrowse the forests of saplings and new growth after the harvest. This harmful behavior reduces plant cover and biodiversity within forest ecosystems, causing fluctuations in the natural patterns of carbon and nutrient cycling within forests. Not to mention that in the midst of all of this, deer populations are incredibly unstable due to diseases and the changing abundance of food. Overpopulation is bad, especially that of deer. I'm sure we all remember what an uncontrolled New World deer population did to a certain national park. Another thing to mention, our government earns about $11.8 billion from hunting every single year to put towards conservation efforts. That pays for foresters, reconstructing riverbeds, building trails, conserving endangered species, and placing those ugly HESCO barriers on that one cliff edge so tourists with selfie sticks don't accidentally fall to their death. So why does this even matter? Yeah, hunting is great and it controls the deer populations, blah blah, everything is fine and dandy, right? Unfortunately, no. The overpopulation of deer is still a significant problem in many parts of the United States. With the population capacity of deer before harvest seasons exceeding double that of the natural capacity in most of the United States, hunting is still somehow becoming a less accessible sport. Even in areas with hundreds of deer per square mile, the cost of deer tags and local laws remain to be the biggest obstacles for some hunters. Today, research in this field is unfortunately still in its infancy, so the full extent of the connections between deer populations, hunting, and agriculture are still rather unknown relative to some other ecosystem services. For now, the best we can do is to do our part in preserving the ecosystems that support us, whether that be hunting deer, maybe helping to manage coyote populations, or even just walking away from this video with a slightly better understanding of the importance of not only the cultural ecosystem service of hunting that these deer populations provide, but also the significance of hunting to the ecosystem itself.